All right. Okay, welcome everyone, and good morning to you guys on that side of the world. As Katrina said, I'm calling to you in from Australia, where I moved from Canada 9 years ago, which is why I don't have an Australian accent, sadly. But at the end, we can have a little Q&A, and I can listen to all of your beautiful accents, and that would make it more fun for me too. So as Katrina said, I was a physio for over 20 years in Canada. We owned a clinic. I went on my own health journey where I basically was super burned out. My husband went back and did a master's in biomedical engineering. I was raising two kids, running a clinic of 15, including other multidisciplinary professionals and staff. And it was crazy, crazy, crazy. All the medical tests kept coming back negative, even though I had lots and lots of crazy symptoms and nothing was working. And so I went on my own health journey in 2014 and really dove into the world of supplements and discovered collagen and so many things that I realized there are so many hidden ingredients. There's so much counterfeit out there in terms of the product world, in terms of supplements, and lots of smoke and mirrors and just marketing stuff that it was really disturbing me, because I thought there's people who are spending money on these products and it's really hard for me to realize that it's not doing anything for them. And I just didn't have a platform to be able to speak into that and offer them questions that they could actually ask in order to get the answers that are actually going to help them get what they need. And so a few years ago, when I actually discovered LifeVantage, it was actually a game changer for me, because I realized we can actually activate our genes to express what they did when we were younger, because using nutrition versus just supplementing and topping up the tank with things that we need to be adding into our diet. And so it was huge game changer for me. And I jumped in. Firstly, my husband and I jumped in as customers. And when I realized the power of the science behind this, because I'm a bit of a science nerd, I'll try and keep it pretty, high level today. But I read lots of the studies, lots of the research, talked to lots of there's lots of doctors, there's lots of medical professionals in our as distributors around the world. And I've had these high level conversations and realized there is nothing like this on the planet, that somebody can actually take something that's herbal and activate our body's pathways that actually will produce our own antioxidants. So more on that to come, because this morning, we are going to talk about flipping the switch. Because I really, as Katrina said, I want you guys to be able to feel better and do more. That's my heart. So as a proper disclosure, I'm not here to, cure, heal, prevent, mitigate, or diagnose any disease. Today is just for educational purposes, because we are having these daily conversations. So I don't know about some of you guys, but I personally am having constant conversations every single day. You ask the person, how are you? How you going? How are things? You hear so often, I'm tired. My get up and go is got up and gone. I'm not sleeping well. I have a hard time making decisions. I'm burned out time and time again. I can't tell you, especially over the last 3 years, how many more of these conversations I personally have been having. And it's not just in Australia. It was happening, I talked to people in Canada and the US, New Zealand and Europe as well. And so it's definitely a global thing. And this is why there's been 85,000 chemicals that have been introduced since the Industrial Revolution. I didn't realize that. I knew there's lots of chemicals that have been put out there. And I've been trying, my hardest over the last 10 years to remove all the chemicals out of our home, and, making it a place where our kids and our dogs, and we're not adding more toxins into our bodies. But unfortunately, it's just part of life. We literally are just being hijacked daily. So look at our food and water, depending on where you live, there's other things that they're putting in the water, like fluoride or high levels of, there's sometimes I literally can taste almost like bleach in the water when I, go into a big city and you just get the tap water. There's just heavy metals, there's pesticides, our soils are being depleted. People are eating really poorly. They're not eating, healthy home cooked food anymore, because they're fast on the run, grabbing, going wherever they can. We've got environmental pollution. We've got sun damage. Like I was saying, the household cleaners, beauty products. We've got an increase in mold. I know in Australia, we had 5 months of rain. There were so many issues with mold, and it really was impacting people's health and their kids' health. Then we talk about stress. I don't know about you guys. You can drop in the chat or what if you've ever, experienced stress over the last few years. Again, I don't think there's really many people on the planet that have been immune to that. But often stress leads to stress in relationships, stress with your sleep. You're not sleeping properly. And then that cycle starts where you're tired, so you don't exercise, you're not active, you get more sedentary, and then you're working harder, and then you're not thinking as clearly, so then you're working overtime, and then people lean on alcohol or smoking as vices to be able to help them relax. Then we've got so many more screens, right? How many hours do we now spend average on screens? I actually read a thing the other day. Kids are actually spending an average of 6 hours in front of a screen. It is crazy. And that blue light is actually impacting the back of our eyes. We're actually absorbing all these EMFs from sitting and having, internet constantly around us all the time. I remember when we moved to Australia, it was so hard to get free Wi-Fi. You had to, really have a good plan. And even that was really limited. And now it doesn't matter where you go. It's, if everyone's asking you to jump on their free Wi-Fi, right? So it's just a constant thing that our bodies are having to really battle. So really, you can do your best to eliminate these. But for the most part, really, I think all of us can agree, it's just simply life in the 21st century. And really, what I'm talking about tonight is this is just dimming the lights. So what does this feel like? Well, I'm hearing so many people telling me there is a decrease in their immune system, that they're really tired, that they just don't have any oomph at the end of the day. They do what they have to, and they come home and they just don't have anything left for their kids. Or they get to the weekend and they have to rest and just, kind of sit around. They just don't have that same drive to do what they used to do. People are talking about they have a lot of brain decisions. A lot of people are more short-tempered. There's less people just happy and smiling and easygoing. People are, like I was saying, increase in being stressed, lack of motivation. People's moods are all over the place. So here's the good news. It's not all bad news. Here's the good news. Science has already discovered that our genes contain incredible abilities to keep our bodies healthy. But until LifeVantage, there was no solution that was effectively available to lower oxidative stress. There's no amounts of fruits, vegetables, vitamins, or special antioxidant potions or tablets that were actually going to help our bodies to protect us against this assault of free radical damage. So literally, why I am super excited to share with all you guys is we all around the world are offering people a better path to wellness and a healthy, vibrant life. I want people up off the sidelines and back into the life you guys want to be living, right? So something called nutrigenomics is a great big word. I didn't make it up. It's actually a scientific term. And it's talking about taking nutrition to actually activate the genes that are in your body, the little blueprints that are inside your cells, going and sending little messages so that what is meant to happen, our little survival genes, are actually kicking in. Because a lot of them are going dormant with this whole, hijacking business, right? So the Today Show even said the latest trend in nutrition isn't a fad diet or newly discovered supplement. It's in your DNA. Nutrigenomics, said Fox News, is changing everything. Where we once thought we were powerless is now an area over which we have at least some control. The ability to use nutrition to affect our genes means we are no longer at the mercy of our DNA. I don't know about you guys, but that really, really excites me because my family history is not, amazing, shall we say. So I really was struggling with, I'm turning 49 and I'm hearing all these things, you have to check this and this and this. And I'm like, I really wanted something that I felt I could have a little bit more control over. And this has really blown it out of the water. So this morning, we'll get there. The little yellow activator is what I really want to share with you guys. And it's simply 5 herbs: turmeric, ashwagandha, bacopa, milk thistle, and green tea extract. And most of you guys have heard of these before. But here's the cool thing. I don't know how many of you have specifically heard about antioxidants. So I'm just going to step back for a second and just talk about this. Basically, antioxidants maintain the health of our cell. It's our body's natural defense. But as we age, this oxidative stress, these free radicals that are bouncing around like a pinball machine inside your body, are increasing as we age, which is slowing the production of these antioxidants over time. Which is why this is such a powerful statement that was been made. I can't see the top of my slide. There it is. Yes, University of Colorado. Just want to quote it correctly since we are being recorded. And literally, I just want to read it to you for a second because this was back in 2006, guys. So I want you to think back 2006, which was only a few years ago, right? But it literally says this: Protandim is not an antioxidant supplement. It is an NRF2 activator. Oops, come back. This DNA pathway up and down regulates 500, and they've actually discovered, just as a little side note, almost 600 now, of the 25,000 genes in our body. These genes are called the survival genes. After 120 days in this human trial, SOD increased by 30%, catalase increased by 54%. These indirect antioxidant enzymes neutralize, and here's the fun thing, 1 million free radicals per second, every second. Oxidative stress levels were reduced by an average of 40% in 30 days and up to 70% in 120 days, 100% of the time. Oxidative stress is related to over 250 age-related diseases. The study indicated no evidence of toxicity. Protandim is a safe nutraceutical supplement. So here's the thing. You could take your antioxidants by eating oranges or blueberries. You could take 110 cups of blueberries, or you might want to take 120 vitamin C tablets a day. Most people take vitamin C as an antioxidant. But the cool thing is, because this is not a supplement, this is going to turn on your body's own antioxidant productions at 1 million per second, every second. So you're literally neutralizing. We have, I think it's 13 with like 7 or 9, no, there's so many zeros, septillion, gazillion, just say gazillion free radicals in our bodies every single day. So if you try and think about how many oranges you'd have to eat in order to manage those free radicals, it's pretty much impossible, right? Another one, many of you guys might know, is red wine. I know I've often been guilty of going, oh, I'm just drinking my antioxidants, Well, you'd have to drink 87 glasses of red wine a day. So I'm going to stick with the little yellow activator so I can actually function. So here's the thing, because you could take each of those different ingredients. And I've had lots of people say to me, Candace, I take curcumin, or I already take ashwagandha, or I take green tea, which is great. Those are good. Those are helpful. But when you look at the impact that it actually has individually versus the synergy between all 5 and the perfect ratios, that's what turns on that NRF2 pathway. And that's where that's where the magic happens. That's where the power is in the synergy. So Washington State University made this statement: NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may become the most extraordinary health breakthrough. So literally this all started back in 2003 in a lab where the scientists actually stood there and said, what can we do about oxidative stress? Dr. Joe McCord had actually discovered SOD. It's measured in McCord units. So this scientist is sitting there and saying, what can we do to actually manage this in our bodies? And he took these 5 herbs, 2,500 different combinations of them, and saw this NRF2 pathway turn on and went, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So they were doing that for a few years. Well, ABC Primetime Investigative Report, which is kind of like, I think you guys might have 60 Minutes over in the US or over in the UK. they basically went in to try and debunk it. This reporter goes in, gets his blood work taken, and he's trying to show the world, look, this is just, you know, another one of those things that they're making these statements, but it's really not anything. Unfortunately for them, fortunately for LifeVantage, this reporter actually had his blood work done and his oxidative stress levels went down by 43%. It was crazy in 2 weeks. And so all of these researchers on the bottom of this here all went crazy. They were like, we want to buy these Propanda bottles, try it ourselves, and see how we can see how we can actually, you know, do our own research, which was amazing. And within that, we saw things like a 300% rise in glutathione production. So I don't know how many of you guys have heard of glutathione before, but it is a big buzzword right now. And it is literally the molecule of life. Nothing happens in your body without glutathione. It's just being used constantly. So to have more of it is a really good idea, especially when it comes to your immune system. So this company just continued to go crazy all around the world with different research. So you don't have to take my word for it. These studies have been conducted at some of the world's most respected research institutions to back up these claims that we're saying. So we're talking about Harvard, National Institute of Aging, all independent research. We're talking about circulation in medicine, the American Heart Association, free radical biology and medicine, and so many more. And for yourself, you can actually go on to PubMed.gov. It's the National Library of Medicine. And just have a quick look. This was a recent search that I'd done. And it showed when I put in oxidative stress at the top, that there's almost 300,000 results on just oxidative stress. And when you type in Protandim, you'll see there's 28 published studies that are peer reviewed. These are not put out by LifeVantage. These are put out by the main universities and research centers that I was just mentioning. Incredible, incredible results. So the cool thing is they actually said, we've been able to activate the NRF2 pathway. What other pathways are in the body? And they know that mitochondrial dysfunction happens pretty much from the age of 50. You are walking around and you will have some sort of mitochondrial dysfunction. I don't know if you guys know what a mitochondria is, but it's the little tiny batteries inside your cells that produce all of the energy. So think back to like grade 8 biology, right? It goes back a little ways, but it literally, as you age, your power is decreasing in the cell. So your body's natural defense, which is literally constantly fixing and removing these damaged mitochondria, it slows down over time. And so these researchers said, can we activate this NRF1 pathway? And they discovered they could, again, using just natural ingredients, alpha lipoic acid, grape extract, quercetin, acetyl L-carnitine, and CoQ10. Again, powerful in their own little rights, but together this synergy blows it out of the water, literally rebuilding it and activating these NRF1 genes by nearly 70%, which is incredible. So I don't know about you, but I want more of that energy, right? So you can think of it like you have a mobile phone. So this is one of my favorite little analogies. I don't know how many of you guys have like a little iPhone. Many of them now ask for your face to, you know, if you're looking in the right direction. So you have these little devices that have so much in there. They have these incredible apps. I know back in like the 90s, we had like a video recorder, like a camcorder. We had a calculator. You had a big camera. You had, you know, the list just goes, a map, right? Everything is in this tiny little device. But if you can't unlock it, you can't access any of the goodness in there. So you unlock it, which is what we do with the Protandim NRF2. It's like unlocking your phone or putting the key in the ignition of your car and turning it on, generating all those antioxidants. And Protandim NRF1 Synergizer looks at your battery life. So as your phone gets older, what happens? It doesn't last as long during the day. You have to plug it in during the day, right? So what this does is this is actually going to replenish and regenerate those little mitochondria. So you're going to get this 1-2 punch. against aging, which is what we are all about. Literally activating your body's ability to create wellness from within, which is why LifeVantage is known all around the world as the activation company. So if you could turn on your survival genes, which are the good guys, with the flip of a switch, would you? I said yes. Katrina said yes. My husband said yes. I've had hundreds of people personally that I know over the last few years say yes. And they've had life-changing situations happen from, I'll get into a few testimonials in a second, but I get a little excited about them. But they do have, other than the NRF1 and NRF2, oh, I almost gave it away, trying to move my mouse. The NRF1 and NRF2 come in little bottles. NRF2 comes in a bottle with 30 caplets, and the NRF1 come in 60. You take one NRF2 and 2 of the NRF1 daily. But they also have gut health, because we know how important gut health is. Gut health with immune system, gut health with brain health. There's so many links, really, really critical. And so what they've done is they've looked at this probiotic and said, how can we take what's out there and actually go way beyond? So they have what's called the DR cap, which allows it to go into your body, and it's not released for 47 minutes. So it gets all the way down through the stomach acids and into your gut where it needs to change the flora, which is amazing. We've got an omega, which is a fish oil. Personally, I never took fish oils. I agreed with the need for them, but I didn't know where those fish were, what else was in there. I just didn't trust them. These omegas are perfectly balanced between brain health and heart health. And you can take the bottle, literally take the barcode on the back, and it can track it to the boat where the fish was caught. That ticked the box for me. I was pretty excited about that. So, but they also want to make sure that we don't add in toxins in our bodies. So there's lots of skincare, there's lots of hair care out there. And what happens is you're actually putting more things in your body that your body now has to deal with. So they made a super clean hair care system, which is amazing. And we've also, the very first thing that they actually did, which was kind of cool from one of those research studies, is they actually took the protandim and they crushed it up and put it in a cream. And they found that people's skin cancers were disappearing, their wrinkles were disappearing. And it was like, they went back to the company and said, we really think you need to do this. And so that's where the number 4, which is the 4-step system, the anti-aging cream, came in. And literally not a single person that I've introduced the True Science skincare to has not loved it. Men, women, teenagers, it's sensitive skin, oily skin. It's just beautiful NRF2 activation, super clean from the outside. So there's quite a few things you can kind of choose from, but I just wanted to focus tonight on these 2. And for those of you guys who are as excited about collagen as I am, this new product was actually released back in June in the USA. They sold over $10 million in the first 120 days. It went on back order twice. It is just crazy because these are the results that are happening. It is just unheard of. I've seen some 5-month, 6-month, 7-month testimonials coming in. I need to update the slides. It's just incredible. And if you see those results on the outside, imagine what's happening on the inside. And a lot of those people have been taking it, like I was saying, for like 5 months. And there's reports coming in of massive improvement in joint health, recovery from exercise, eye health being improved, hair happening that was going bald and it's regrowing thicker than ever. It's literally a head to toe, inside and out. You're looking at nerve repair. Like there's so many things that collagen does. It's the glue that holds us together. And what's cool about ours is it literally, it activates your own production of collagen. So you can go and buy collagen in the marketplace, big buckets of them. If it's powder, at most you're absorbing 10 to 30% at most, because it's actually being broken down in your stomach acids. So having it in a liquid bioavailable form, ours is over 95% bioavailable, which means you drink it and it goes straight in and goes to work. Your body, it's available for your body. And it is delicious. It's like an appleberry flavor, honestly, cutest little bottles. and there's never enough in there. So if you do want to do that and try the collagen, Katrina does have a way that you guys can order it through the US to actually get it into, oh, she's just dropped that in the chat, into the UK. So it's not available in the UK yet. They're hoping it's in the process. Everything just takes a while to get everything approved, but it's been requested and it's in the process. So coming soon to your country as well. In Australia, we are finally getting it. So excited, in 4 weeks. So it's happening. So, and I pretty much covered all of these things. So we're just going to jump into this. This is just kind of a fun little thing about the company that I love. So when we went over to Croatia on an incentive trip that 200 of us consultants, there's thousands of consultants, went over, and I got to take my daughter. This is her here, which is pretty cool. And we got to hang out with Katrina and went punting down the river in Cambridge, which was amazing. But we got to give back. We got to pack 1,000 boxes to give to the Ukrainian refugees who were living in Croatia. And it was just this epic experience to have 400 people in the room, partnering with the Red Cross and being able to do something that was giving back. It was just something that was just a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of the trip. Everyone was saying how I'm almost crying, sorry. It was just such a touching time to be able to actually do something all together like that and really give back and make a difference. So at the forefront of wellness and nutrigenomics, you can see we are in multiple countries for distributors and additional countries for customers. So this isn't just limited to just the UK or just Australia or just USA. You know, it's in multiple different countries and growing. So I just wanted to share just a few testimonials with you guys, just to give you a glimpse. For people who aren't on Facebook, we do have a testimonial group where people share their firsthand experiences with it. So if you haven't been added to that, definitely make sure you ask Katrina. But I just wanted to pull a few off just to kind of show you. So this was this little guy really, really struggling. In 2 days, he was already seeing improvements. But literally, he had suffered eczema his whole life. And it was so, so bad. Literally heartbreaking for the family. He was on drugs and steroids, and he, after taking this, just the little yellow activator, literally has had a massive, massive transformation. Like the confidence of this little guy has just been crazy, and it's just kept improving. Like this was last July, right? And you just go 34 days, and they have tried everything since he was a baby, right? It's just amazing. Here's a guy, he's over in the UK. Katrina knows him, his name's Brett. And he was really struggling with heaps of things. And so this is him here. And now he's like unbelievable. His asthma's gone. His gut stuff got sorted in about 9 months. His little scaly elbows, he said, his history, his liver score is amazing. Like, and he's just not getting sick anymore. Like, people are continuing to, you know, be able to rise above. And I hear this time and time again, where the mom or the dad or one of them decides, I'm going to give this little activator a go, and all their family gets sick and they don't. And it's just continuously, because of that glutathione, it's increasing your body's ability to fight back, to give you that defense, to fill up your healthy savings account, is what I like to say. And the cool thing is, when it works on your pets, thanks there, puppy dog, for your cameo there, just the right time. You know it's not placebo because you can't fool them. So this is a horse that the neighbor, I didn't want it, the very first photo that was a few days before that was pretty crazy. And then I thought, I'm actually going to take a picture. So this is us starting on July 30th. And this is giving her just the little yellow activator. And this is October 10th. And this is called a sarcoid. It was a swamp cancer. And they've been trying for over 12 months with a vet to literally get rid of it. And because of the area that it's on, it was inoperable. And so you can see down below, there was another one. That's one that they had removed surgically that kept trying to come back. And even here, now I need to update the photo again. It's completely, the hair is growing over it. You would hardly know that there's anything there. There's the tiniest scab. Just amazing. So here's another one that literally, you know, again, just life-changing. This is my friend Marie. and oops, I spelled her name wrong. And it's, and it literally like migraines, insomnia, knee pain, neck pain, depression, like we're talking head to toe. As we activate our body's ability to do this, it just literally, it changes everything. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not a miracle pill. You can't take it one day and go, oh, I feel like I'm 20 again. It's going to take time. It's going to take about a month for every decade you've been on the planet, because it's at the cellular level. So it's going to take a while for your body to actually heal itself from the cellular level and get to the threshold where suddenly I have people coming off their anxiety medication, their depression medication, their high levels of pharmaceutical, what do you call them? Painkillers. There's another word for them. But yeah, and they're suddenly going, I just don't have pain. And the doctor's like, well, I'll take you off the tramadol, or I'll take you off this, right? It's just been really amazing, amazing having a front row seat to watching these people just get their lives back. So here's another one. Anyways, I could keep going, but this one was fun. She said she sold Mary Kay for close to 40 years. And she, after having this powerful transformation with NRF2, she tried the True Science skincare, and she's now loving it. She's been converted, she said. So that was just a bit fun. You know, skin conditions, little babies that you can put the skin cream on. You know, this lady, older lady, and she's now went for a hike in the Grand Canyon with her daughter. Like, she has her life back, right? This little girl had kidney disease. Had kidney disease. And her kidney function, she was needing a kidney transplant. The doctor was like, there's no hope left. She literally just started taking NRF2. Total miracle, right? And again, like this is another cute little fun one for the puppies, because I'm like Katrina, I love my four-legged friends. But these are two brothers. These are my friend Brandon's dogs over in the US. And they're from the same litter. This guy's not activated. This guy's activated. They're both 7 years old, right? So it's just amazing to see what happens when we actually can battle oxidative stress. So there is a friends and family discount for the first order. You can get in touch with Katrina. She does have a link for you guys. And after that, you will get your own friends and family discount. So if you have, you know, a spouse, a child, an aunt, a neighbor, whoever that you are listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this would really help them, write their name down, pass it on to Katrina. Or when you become a customer yourself, you will get one of these links that you can share with them and help give that gift of health. So really at this point, we have 3 options that you can, you know, become a customer and you can look good and feel good. Really, I hope you really are taking away from this as a really great option for better health. You might want to join our team. You might want to do this where you can be helping people around you and making a side income. Right? Like Katrina, when I briefly chatted about this, because she'd had back surgery, and she's like, oh my gosh, there's so many people in my world that need this. So she's now doing it as a business in her time zone, which helps me because, you know, trying to coordinate these, there's little windows of time where we're all awake. So having people being able to do this and get the word out there is so, so critical. And you might be saying, you know what, this actually isn't for me right now, but I do know somebody who is literally on their knees praying for a solution for their health or for their finance. And that's where I really want you to be able to jump in and have that chat to Katrina. So you could just get started as a customer on the NRF2, which I recommend literally every person on the planet should be on. Or you can do the NRF1, NRF2, which is called the dual synergizer. Or there is the omegas that I mentioned and the probio for the gut health, which has, again, so many people. Oh, sorry, $9.60 off discounts in different countries. Sorry about that. And it's, but yeah, it's like, and what you can start on doesn't mean you have to stay on it month after month, right? You can start on the best pack, and you might only need to take the probiotics for 1 or 2 months. And then you actually just switch. Your subscriptions are never locked in stone. You have full, you know, access to your account. You can change the date, you can change the things, you can add the skincare 1 month and then take it out. Like, you are in full control, just so you know. We don't have any minimum orders or any, you know, high pressure or anything. It's completely like ordering, you know, on Amazon or, you know, going to the shops. You just pick what you want. And again, I just want to encourage you to make sure that you're in My Life Vantage Story, where you can read firsthand testimonials, not just, you know, the few that I've shared here, but there are thousands and thousands and thousands. So you can use the search bar and you can have a look at everything that's in there and really get a handle on what other people are saying about this, not just me, right? So, because there's lots of different experiences out there. So I really appreciate your time. I know we went a little over half an hour. I was hoping to kind of keep it within a half an hour, but it was really such an honor to get to hang out with you guys and share this morning with you all. And I'm looking forward to, unpacking a few more questions with you guys after, but I'm just quickly going to stop the recording so that we don't keep everybody up. Oops. Those who have to go can go, and let's see, where is the recording? There it is. Okay.